3rd of November, Rabbi Levitt, Horeb.
Okay. Okay. So, we wanted to look up this. We're in the chapter 94 of perjury blasphemy, and we have these two psukim over here.
Thou shalt swear.
What's that?
You were wondering about the phrase, thou shalt swear by his name.
Yeah. Right. So, as always, we can't conclude anything from what the simple meaning of the words translated into English conveys.
Right.
So we got to we have to take a look at the pasuk, take a look at the Rashi. Maybe Rashi says something about it.
Okay. So we've got Devarim 6:13.
Yeah.
Suspicious. So it says, Es Hashem Elokecha, Kireh, V'oso Sa'avod, Uvishmo Tishave'ah. So Hashem, your God, you will revere him. And serve and in his name Tishave'ah. That's the key word here, Tishave'ah.
Yeah.
Like English translated says, you shall swear.
Right. Yeah, that's what the words are translated into English. The question is, what's the case that it's the pasuk is speaking about, that we understand that there is something permissible in doing so.
But there is a Rashi.
Yeah.
On the phrase V'shmo Tishave'ah.
Okay.
If all these traits are present in you, that you revere his name and you serve him, then in his name you shall swear. For as a result of your revering his name, you will be careful of your oath. Oh, excuse me a second. I have to say goodbye to my. No problem.
Hey, good morning, Alan.
Morning.
Oh, good morning, Mayor.
Hi, good morning. Shavua Tov.
Okay, this is actually looks pretty good. I got a new I got a Zoom workplace today. They forced me to go into. The only way I could get on the call is if I signed in over here. So
Sorry for that.
okay, so what we are doing is we are on page 448. We're beginning chapter 94, and the first pasuk talks about swearing in Hashem's name. So we're looking at Rashi. When are the circumstances that someone could swear in Hashem's name? When he fulfills the first two parts of the pasuk. The first part of the pasuk says you should fear Hashem, and that you should serve him. So if somebody feels that he is has fear of Hashem and he serves him, so then he could swear. That's the way Rashi is explaining it. Is there anything more that Rashi says over there? Ooh.
Yeah, it says, but if not, i.e., you do not meet the conditions of the beginning of the verse, you do not swear in his name.
Oh, okay. So, okay, so I think that's self-understood now.
Well, it still seems odd that, I mean, okay, you'll be careful and you when you make your oath, but what about the basic principle that we're not supposed to swear, period?
Well, that basic principle is because a person is not supposed to assume about himself that he is a complete fear of Hashem and he's a complete server of Hashem. If there's anything lacking in those first two prerequisites, so he should take care not to swear. So anybody who does is basically saying, "Oh, I have perfect fear of Hashem without any fallout, and I serve Hashem without any fallout." So then if the person makes a shvua and the Bezdin Shomala says, "Oh, this person, he says that he is a perfect server of Hashem and he's a perfect fear of Hashem. You know what? Let's take a look into his record and let's take a look and see, is he really, in fact, a perfect server of Hashem and a perfect fear of Hashem? Let's take a look." So anybody who wants that to happen to him, I don't think there's anybody who really wants that to happen to him, because I think most people will say that they would rather not be subject to such close scrutiny and examination, and therefore they should do well to not swear in Hashem's name. And that's what we mean when we say that the basic rule is that we don't swear in Hashem's name. Okay. Good.
There is a footnote here. It says, it is not an obligation, like Hashem your God shall you fear, and him shall you serve, which precede. One need not take oaths. Rather, it is a result of the fulfillment of the conditions set at the beginning of the verse. If one reveres God and serves him, then he may swear in his name.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that exactly. Where are you reading from?
This is a footnote quoting Tanchuma Matos,
Yeah.
the Gur Aryeh.
Yeah.
Says it's not a commandment to swear in his name.
Oh, there's no obligation. There's no mitzvah to swear in Hashem's name.
Right. You may swear in his name if you meet the criteria, which is basically what you said already.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at what Rev Hirsch has to say over here. 593. And we go to, who would like to start off today?
Alan, I see your lips moving, but you're muted.
Now I'm back. Okay. Number 593. We've already tried to analyze the conception of Shavua, the oath, including the vow, see above paragraph 470. We came to the conclusion that Shavua means that if one's word is not true or is not kept, one's whole personality is directly and actually surrendered to the deity, who inexplicably destroys the perjurer. The scriptural passages quoted at the beginning of this
Okay.
chapter
That would be
prescribe the
clear.
oath in judicial cases for the protection of the personality attacked with regard to its possessions, but not attacked as such. The Torah lays it down that there is no oath unless it is sworn by God, for nothing is as much as a true oath is a direct acknowledgement of God, all-seeing, all-requiring providence. According to the Torah, such judicial oath is one only of defensive, protective to the Torah. Such judicial oath is only defensive, protective, but not acquisitive in accordance with the basic concept. It's taking the whole personality for the preservation part of it, where through Takana, biblical decree, it has been made acquisitive, that this be ascribed to the fact that actually it is only reinforces and protects pre-existing and bound rights. For instance, if a dependent, because of his bad character, is unable to take the oath, which alone depends decision of his right to possession, the plaintiff on his part can take the oath and acquire the right, or in the case of daily wage claim when it is matured, or in the case of the mere assessment of the extent of damage, etc. Only for the protection of movable goods. These alone merge completely with the personality. An attack on them is also an attack on the personality, but not the immovable property, nor is it permissible in the case of sacred temple property, for the personality is not a real one, but only imaginary. Nor finally, in the case of bonds, etc., with regard to their normal value as opposed to their material value, only in the case of the personality being attacked, but not attacked in its entirety, such as where a claim has been voluntarily acknowledged in part for the purpose of defeating the rest of the claim, but not when the entire claim is rejected. Where a claim is supported by only one witness, only two witnesses are necessary in all personal relationships. In the case of goods received in custody, when the receipt has been acknowledged, but restitution has been refused on the grounds that theft, destruction, etc., depending on the nature of the contract, have canceled this obligation, but not when the whole claim is rejected with the contention that either the thing has never been received or it has already been returned. In the course of time, it becomes necessary to demand a supporting oath, also in the case of complete rejection of claims, called Shavuos Assess, oath for the promotion of confessions. Similarly, also the oath of purgation in the case of ownership, etc. We thought we should give these details from the law on judicial oaths because it seems to be very significant for the conception of the Torah oath. Very confusing.
Yeah. It's complicated.
And complicated, right?
Okay. Yeah, he's
It seems that something's very important in the first part of the paragraph. It says, some conclusion, the Shemua means that if one's word is not true or is not kept, one's whole personality is directly and actually surrendered to the deity. This
That's a funny expression. I don't know why do they say like that? I don't know. They're referring to Hashem.
right.
Yeah, basically, yeah, he's pointing out that for someone that makes an oath and it's not 100% true, or an oath that he's going to do something and he doesn't do it 100%. So it's a very weighty business, and it's something to not get involved in. Even though he didn't say that, but anybody that reads that sentence and understands the ramifications of what is being said over here, he'll understand that shuas are something that we try to avoid at all costs. And then he's basically he's talking about when and where we make a Torah mandated oath, and what are the cases where there's a rabbinic oath with all the ins and outs. How it impacts upon the whole personality, or not the personality, or the whatever it is. When he says personality is also a bit confusing. I think he's referring to the person himself. For some reason, he uses the word personality. Okay, so anyway, yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's about it for that one. Let's take a look at 594. Oh wow, I see he's got another 2 full pages. Okay, after this page, 594, we go to Mayor.
Okay. 1 second. 594. Okay, it says, in all these and similar cases where you are called upon in a court of law to take an oath, the Torah permits you to swear as true that which you know to be true, and commands you to swear only by the one and only God. But while a true oath is permitted in all of those cases, and if sworn upon God, forms a solemn acknowledgement of God's rule over everything. On the other hand, perjury, every sworn falsehood, is a terrible crime, for it is a direct denial of God's rule, an affront to the all-seeing eye, to the all-hearing ear, to the hand extended over all and everything, administering with wisdom and justice, happiness and ruin, bliss and curse, life and death. It is halal shem, denial of God in ourselves and others. Therefore, our judges said to the person taking the oath, know that the earth trembled when God on Mount Sinai pronounced Lo Tisah. Know that the oath is not a mere phrase. Heaven and earth on that occasion were appointed to guard the sanctity of the oath and carry out God's warning. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. on everyone who takes an oath. Destruction will unfailingly overtake the perjurer, even teshuvah, though it brings forgiveness, does not avert it entirely. For the restoration of the sanctity of the divine name, denied by perjury, requires that the words of the oath should be carried out on the person of the perjurer. That is to say, the manifestation of God's avenging hand through the visible fate of the perjurer. Nor can the perjurer, in the case of a judicial oath, shelter behind any mental reservation, for the oath must be taken not from the point of view of him who swears, but that of the judge. It's very complicated.
And,
I know when I was a juror, actually a couple of times, I think, which is unusual where I come from, but they picked me. I told the judge I can't, take an oath on their what they call their Bible. So he said,
they had a Bible there.
yeah, I think it did. It was, I mean, it's a while ago, not that recent. So I said, can I just make an affirmation that tell the truth? And he said yes.
Oh,
that's what I did.
So you didn't get out of it.
Yeah, I don't know what they do today. Like I said, this could have been 15 years ago. I don't know.
My experience was that they tell you can swear or affirm.
Oh, okay. Well, the judge let me affirm, so I guess, but they didn't really say that in the courtroom.
Even if it would have been an art scroll stone chumash, you shouldn't have sworn, because like we're saying over here, especially if there's if you have a opportunity, you don't really have any if you don't have any obligation to swear, you should definitely not swear. So you should really always just affirm.
So so the funny thing that happened, I went through this whole procedure, and the court case didn't start till Friday morning. So I spoke privately to the judge, the fact that, and it was in the winter, that, I can't even stay for the whole trial because of my Sabbath. So he just dismissed me and let me go.
Oh.
I went through all that, and in the end, I got dismissed anyway.
Oh boy. Oish.
No.
So how many days of work did you have to miss for that?
It was actually, let's see, Thursday, 2 days.
2 days. Oh boy.
Yeah, but my work, it didn't really affect anything concerning work. I mean, I still get paid for those days.
You got paid for those days.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, it was a company policy. I think up to a week they'll pay you for your salary if you're on trial.
Okay. This was a hard one to explain over here. This paragraph. Just see if there's anything that we could glean out of it. That's the one thing that does come out of it, that the Torah permits you to swear as true that which you know to be true, and commands you to swear only by the one and only Hashem. Can't swear in the name of anything else, of course. That should go without saying. But just to make it clear, that's the only thing. That's the only way that you could make that it has a what would be if he swore in the name of some avodah zarah? I mean, I don't know what that would. I don't know what that would mean. It wouldn't be an oath. It would be nothing.
Yeah, it seems to be it would be ineffective to do that.
He swears in the name of something that doesn't exist. So, but
So you might be better off if you swear on their Bible.
well, see, then you're what you're doing really is you're giving credence to their whole religion when you're doing that. I mean, no one thinks about that, but that's really, if you do think about it, then you realize that you are, because you're saying I'm affirming that what I'm true. What is the reason that you're swearing by the in the name of Hashem? What does that mean? It means that you're saying that just like as true and as real as Hashem is, so is what I'm saying. Exactly the same thing. So just the whole idea of swearing is, if you think about it, it's a bit of a chutzpah, to say that that what you're saying is as true as what as Hashem. It's just why are you bringing Hashem into the whole thing over here? It's almost in vain. Even a true oath, just say this is what I say is true, and that's what it is. It's not proper. So if you're saying what I have to say is absolutely true, it's as true as this avodah zarah that I'm swearing in the name of. What have you done? You've given great credence to this avodah zarah. Mm-hmm. So that's not something that even if it's not a not a true oath, it doesn't have any effectiveness in halacha, but it's giving credence to avodah zarah. Okay. And he mentions this that if in a case where a person is making up to make a shvua, so the judge is administering the shvua, they say to him, you're aware of the fact that the earth trembled when Hashem at Har Sinai, he said Lo sisa Hashem Elokecha lashav. Don't take Hashem's name in vain. It's not just not just a phrase. The oath is not just a sentence, but it's a very, very weighty matter. Heaven and earth were appointed to guard the sanctity of the oath and carry out Hashem's warning that Hashem will not hold guiltless somebody that takes his name in vain. So it's a good thing to stay away from, because you don't want to get anywhere near that results. It's like like if somebody, if there was let's say a king, he makes an announcement. He says, by Friday afternoon, anybody in this town is still remaining in this town is going to have their head taken off, right? So he makes this announcement on Monday morning. So when are people going to leave the town? Do you think that there's going to be anybody that's going to leave the town at 11:55 on Friday morning? I don't think so. Aye, but he's only coming at 12 o'clock at noon. Yeah, right. So that's the idea. That's really the a lot of the idea of the rabbinic injunctions that we have to stay away from getting close to violating what Hashem says in the Torah. Okay. 595. We go to Lou.
Perjury, shvuas sheker, is of two kinds. One, an oath concerning the past. Two, an oath concerning the future. One, concerning the past, to swear the opposite of what in fact has happened. For example, that something which has not been done has been done, or vice versa. A special subspecies of it is shvuas hados. For example, the oath that one has not witnessed something, and shvuas hapikadon, an oath that one has not received something. All this comes into the category of the oath of assertion. Two, concerning the future, to assume under oath the duty of doing or not doing something. This is the vow, see above, Yordea. In the case of judicial oaths, the usual procedure is to put the Torah in front of the swearer or in his hand in order to bring the law home to his mind and to make him swear, so to speak, in the sight of the Torah. There are other forms as well, but the essence for the swearer is only his own word. I swear. This in whatever language it is said, with or without the invocation of Hashem, is formally a valid oath. Equally valid is it in the form of the oath, if the form of the oath is pronounced by another person, whether it is a Jew or a Gentile, a minor or a person of full age. And the person who is taking the oath answers with Amen, or yes, or any other expression which embodies the oath taking. Even that is not necessary in certain cases. See Maimonides' Hilchos Shavuos. To repeat a statement with the intent of swearing to it is also an oath, and any pronouncement accepted as sworn is a formal oath, Yordea.
Yeah, just thinking about this whole idea of swearing, you're swearing this is what happened, or this is what you're going to do, or you didn't receive the following thing, or you don't know this thing. Shvuas Eidus, Shvuas Pikadon. The other night we were on our way back from a Levi, actually, unfortunately. And I wanted to make this shir Le'ili Nishmas, Rezel Chaya Bas Yisrael, Alea Shalom. So I was in a car that was driving, and we were stopped in traffic, whatever. And all of a sudden, we feel this bump in the back of the car. Somebody bumped into us, a big tender, and the person driving gets out of the car to go see, and what was this person thinking? And the person is shouting out, "How come you backed up into me? You backed up into me." So I was very I was just sitting in the back seat. I wasn't even the driver. So, I was thinking, how could this person, lie through his teeth? How could he do such a thing like that? Then he gets out of the car, out of the tender, and blah 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 blah, and then the person takes a picture of the license and blah blah blah. There wasn't any, Baruch Hashem, it wasn't a serious bump. He was just not paying attention. So but he keeps insisting that how come you da da da, and I started to think to myself after the fact, like, and people in the car also, maybe we did like go a little bit back, and we were the ones that bumped into him, and he was stationary. Why do I say all this? Because when you're talking about, saying what happened, who is paying, you're not, people don't pay 100% attention to anything that they do, right? Especially when they're driving and they're talking to, the person next to them and whatever it is. And the person started himself being very concerned, maybe he did back up into the guy, and so now I'm thinking, if you were in a court and the guy says to you, you got to swear that you were stationary and you didn't back up. Are you going to do that? I wouldn't do that. Maybe that jerk behind it was actually right. And when it comes to swearing, forget it. Right? So I think that's what this, it's just another idea on this subject. Okay.
Yeah, because the driver of the car should know if he backed up or not. If he has an automatic transmission, he's probably in drive anyway, which means he can't back up. And even if he has a stick shift, he's basically with the clutch in, he's in neutral. So I don't know.
Well, it's not possible to back to just like if you're you think if your foot is on the brake,
right?
You're not really,
and you're in drive. If you take your foot off, the car will inch forward, not backwards. So unless you change gears for some reason, which it's
an automatic.
Yeah, so he probably
I don't know.
So probably the tender did go into him.
I mean, that's what I don't think it would have been such a feeling of a bump if we had bumped back like that. We wouldn't have been bumped. We wouldn't have gone very fast. But anyway, I'm just illustrating, especially when there's somebody who's the opponent and he's saying the opposite, right?
Right.
And, he also has a kippah on his head, right?
Yeah.
So, maybe he's not a barefaced liar. Maybe he was paying 100% attention, and maybe he knows, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's the story. And either way, it's a story, right?
Right. That's true.
Now they're worried that he's gonna. Oh, and then after we left, he claimed that we left the scene of the accident, and we didn't. And he was going to go call the police on us because we left the scene of the accident. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know what else more there was to do. But anyway, I don't know. It was a whole thing. I don't know. But our driver was giving him the benefit of that. I'm sure he's an honest person. I'm sure he's blah, 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 and da. He's not going to make any trouble for me. Anyway,
right.
Okay, so that's the end of the story. And we're out of time with all of our stories. And we say goodbye to Mayor. Have a great day, Mayor, and a great week.
Have a good day, everyone. Shavua Tov.
You too. Thank you. See you in a few minutes.